Uh, excuse me, to tonight's meeting. So it is August 14th and it's our monthly Zoom meeting. One of these days we'll actually, I think, at least partially go back in person for those who are within a decent driving distance. Excuse me. And we'll just go around and do some introductions. I know Giselle's still letting some people into the room, so if I miss anybody, forgive me, but we'll start with Greg.
Manchester West, community member, volunteer.
Thank you. I'm Jamie Tarn. I'm the president of the Fire Safe Council, Siskiyou County. Giselle?
I'm Giselle Nova, coordinator for the Fire Safe Council of Siskiyou County.
All right, Josh?
I'm Josh Bean, program manager for the Community Wildfire Defense Grant with CORE, working alongside the Fire Safe Council.
Thanks. Yvonne?
I'm Yvonne from the Klamath River Fire Safe Council.
Thank you. And Allison?
I'm Allison Cleveland, and I'm in Oregon, and we're part of the Applegate Valley Forest and Fire work group, and also I work in for the Williams Fire Station, and I am a former resident of Siskiyou County.
Mm-hmm. Great. Glad to have you here.
Yeah, Allison and I met at the Golden Fair at the Fire Safe Council booth, and I was just in total awe of what this woman has accomplished and is still doing in her life. She's amazing. Great to see you again, Allison.
Same here.
Thank you. Laura? You're muted. Look. You have to unmute, Laura.
How's that?
There.
Better?
Yeah.
I'm Laura Franklin, and I live in Skyview Estates, and we're forming a Firewise community. I know we've sent in our application, and it's been sent back a couple times for some redos. And so I don't know, where we are in that application process. But anyway, I thought I'd tune in tonight just to see what this is all about.
Great. Welcome.
Thank you.
Marlene?
Hi, I'm Marlene Ludlow, and I live in Mount Shasta, and I've been coming for quite a while and all into it. Lecturing people on cutting down the trees.
All right, well, thank you. Mike?
Well, I don't know how many mics are out here, but this is Michael Hentz from Happy Camp.
Sorry, you were in order of my screen, so that's why.
Well, it's funny is when this started, my mom called and I had to talk and say, hey, Mom, I've got this Zoom call. Love you. So I work with the Mid-Klamath Watershed Council. I was very happy to meet with Josh today from CORE. That was awesome drop-in meeting. All we do, it takes relationships, networking and shared purposes, and different people bring different skills to this effort. And it's a big job as we all have been recently affected by the Shelley fire. The Boise fire is happening now. We're always going to be pressed with these challenges, but we can work towards it together. But thank you so much for having me tonight. Appreciate it, everyone.
Great, thanks. Kristen?
Kristen Norman. I am the administrative assistant and outreach coordinator for the Fire Safe Council of Siskiyou County.
Thank you. Brian?
Yes, Brian Schmidt. I work for a local forestry company in Northern California, and we're starting to do some work with fire safe councils. So I wanted to get more familiar with Siskiyou County.
Great. Thanks, Brian.
What's the name of your company you work with, Brian?
high country forestry. It was actually founded out of Mount Shasta in 1997 and is now based in Reading, but you may have heard of it.
Great. Thanks.
David?
Oh, hi there. We recently moved to Mount Shasta.
Apparently I'm gonna have to talk.
Oh, let me get in the shade. All the smoke. Yeah, should be working.
We can hear, actually, we can hear David. We can hear you fine.
Okay, anyway.
You can?
I'm back. All right. We recently moved to Mount Shasta and as a second home, and Fire Safe Council is something I've been interested in for years. Thank you for having this.
Great, welcome. Dave?
Oh, Dave McAdams, Siskiyou Media Council. Just enjoy coming on to the meetings, hearing what's going on, and seeing how Siskiyou Media Council can help with Fire Safe Council.
Great, thanks, Dave. Clint?
Hi, Jamie. Hi, everybody. This is Clint Isba. I'm the fire ecologist on the Klamath National Forest and also working on a wildfire crisis strategy landscape team for all the 5 forests that encompass the Klamath River Basin.
Thanks, Clint. Nice to see you. And Madeline is driving, she said, so she won't be responding, so because she's driving, so I won't make her take her focus off of that. Joe, introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi everybody. My name is Joe Rodarm. I'm the district ranger, the Forest Service district ranger for the Mount Shasta McLeod Management Unit on the Shasta Trinity National Forest. Thanks for having me.
Welcome. Glad to have you with us tonight. Glenn?
Hello. I am a landowner in the Klamath River drainage. I've been well served by Mike Hentz and his organization, Mid-Klamath Watershed Council. I'm always looking for more resources, trying to get all my neighbors on board, and just trying to stay informed. Thank you.
Welcome. Yes, ma'am. Just trying to do that, take care of that. All right, Matt? You on with us
everybody,
tonight?
Matt. Yep. Hi, everybody. Matt Gazelle, Senior Program Manager for CORE. It was good seeing you some this past weekend. I enjoyed being up there for the Golden Festival. I'm standing in for Nina tonight, our area manager.
Great, thanks. Julie?
Hi, Julie Titus, and I'm wildland fire and fuels consulting work for throughout the county, different communities here, just helping where I can.
Thanks, Julie. Jen?
Hello, I'm Jen Erickson. I'm the Forest Fire Prevention Officer on the Klamath National Forest, and my camera's not set up, so I can't turn it on. Thanks.
Great. Joseph, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, I just wanted to say hi to everybody, and I'm from Black Mountain Fire Safe Council, and I'll be listening in tonight, and just here to let you guys all know that I am healing in the process. I had a massive fall in my new job that I did over in Fort Bragg, California, and I was over in Reno. I had a massive fall. I had full-blown COVID. And I took a massive fall and hit my head, and I have massive head trauma going on right now. So I'll be listening in.
Well, sorry to hear about your accident, Joseph. I hope you heal quickly.
Thank you.
Brian? Brian Johnson, are you with us? Can you?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah, Brian Johnson, owner of Rich Torres and Insurance here in Mount Shasta. Just wanted to kind of take the meeting in, maybe answer any questions that people might have, at least from the insurance viewpoint.
Great, thank you. And Connie?
All right, I'm gonna try and get my video going here. There we are. I'm Connie O'Henley. I am a landowner in Wairika. I actually grew up in Etna, moved away and came back in the last couple of years. And own a significant piece of property that is the interface between Wairika and the Forest Service. I also work for a Lomakotsi Restoration Project and do grants and contract administration. So super interested to see what's going on in my own county.
Great, welcome. And George?
Good evening, everybody. George Jennings. I'm with the Wairika Area Fire Safe Council and also ORCAL RC&D Council, which is a 5-county nonprofit doing natural resource and workforce development work.
Great, thank you. All right, so now on to our agenda. Oh, one thing, if you are speaking tonight or you have questions, can you just turn on your camera so we can see who's talking and see you? It just helps the meeting go a little bit better. So thank you, if you can. So we start off with
Jamie, I would like to ask people if they're not speaking that they mute themselves because the background noise is tough sometimes, disruptive. Thank you.
Thanks. So we're going to start our meeting off with Dave from the Siskiyou Media Council.
Number one in the box. Okay. All right.
There you are.
So thanks, everybody. Good evening. I had an opportunity to meet with Giselle, Kristen, and Josh a couple of weeks ago, and they asked me to speak here tonight. Some of the things that has been happening with Siskiyou Media Council over the past 5 or 6 years has been trying to really regain some momentum in the county for bringing back media, locally controlled media. I know we've lost our newspapers, we don't have any local radio, and we've been trying to get the television station up and running. We've tried different methods over the years. When I took over in 2022 in October, we decided that our focus should be more on dissemination of information and enhancement of emergency notification. And so we went after 2 grants, one with the North State Wildfire Recovery Fund and the Ford Family Foundation. Those 2 organizations were able to fund ourselves 2 brand new servers that brought us up to the 21st century. And it really has improved the ability for us to reach out and to do things beyond what we were able to do in the past. So one of the biggest things is that we had an opportunity to work with the Klamath Fire Service or the Forest Service with Kimberly Duvall. She was helping us with information to be able to put up on the channels and things like that. But now we're up on, after working very hard trying to get the stations going, we're now back on the Wairika campus, and we have our studio there. We have our servers in the head ends and Wairika and in Mount Shasta in the Vive compound. So we're directly connected with those individuals and working with them, trying to get everything connected and get things up and running again. Just a little bit on these new servers. These in the old days, we had to have a whole bunch of modulators and transformers and all kinds of boxes all over the county to make things work. And now and basically we were just on the cable channel. That was it. And maybe we got lucky if we ever got up onto a live stream. Now we're able to go not only to cable television, but we're able to do we have a live stream on the web. We also have the ability to go and take that stream and move it to social media, to Facebook and YouTube if we wanted to do that. And we're in the process of getting our what we call smart TV apps, Roku, Fire Stick, and Apple TV, so that people who do not have cable can actually watch the channels on their television sets, who have smart televisions. This one's for Greg. He's been asking the questions about how come some people can't see the cable television channel. And we found out that when we asked Vive to connect the new servers, they asked us to connect through a digital service. And when we did that, what happened is anybody that didn't have a set-top box on a digital side of the house of their subscription service were unable to see the channels. We did not know that. And so we've been working with Vive trying to work the other side of the house. So the digital side's working. When I get back up there here in the next couple of weeks, we've got new boxes that we're going to install that get a chance to connect to the analog side of the house, so that anybody that has cable television from Vive should be able to pick up channel 4 and channel 15. And that right there will hopefully play that out. Let me see. I'm just trying to go down through all these different things, what we're trying to do. We also have a digital signage box. So if everybody that knows, when you look at public access television and you have those slides between the shows telling you events that are happening, it's just a bunch of text and elevator music. The new boxes now that we have gives us the opportunity to do things like tickers at the bottom of the screen, information that's permanent on the sides like weather or something like that. So we're able to do it more like Bloomberg or CNN with those type of information instead of just static images and bad music. And so we're working on that as well. Let's see. We also will take up any content that you're creating. If you're creating content that you think that is important for the community of Siskiyou, then we will take that information with us. You can contact us. We'll tell you what the format basically, but it's just always in landscape format. Landscape 16:9, and the resolution no more than 1080, which we don't need to be getting any higher than that. And we do still images as well. We always do landscape. We do not do the TikTok or the Instagram. We don't do the vertical type stuff. We always do it in the wide brand there. Let's see. When I was saying, when we did that, when we worked with Klamath and the fire and the OES and the Sheriff's Department asked us to transmit the 18 July live meeting that they had on the Shelley fire, the last major briefing that they had as they were coming to the end. And that was very successful. We were able to take that stream from the Scott Valley, put it up on the channel, and be able to transmit that. So that was we know that this process works. But it's a bandwidth issue, meaning if you have a really poor bandwidth, it's going to be a very poor image that goes on the channel, but we'll still be able to get that image out there. But anybody, if we have that, we're working with the Sheriff's Department and we're working with OES so that they can use this channel as an enhancement to their normal social media type stuff. We're not wanting to be an end all and be all, because when you have single point failures, it just doesn't work out, because if something goes wrong, nobody's getting any information. We just want to enhance what they're currently doing with another controlled media source. Because if you're using Facebook or you're using YouTube, those algorithms sometimes block or limit or throttle the information that doesn't get out in time. So we're just trying to help that situation on. So we're working with the OES and Sheriff's Department to try for them to start utilizing this channel during times when like during the Shelley fire, things like that. Some of the other limitations that we have right now is personnel, because we're trying to get the station up and running better. So we're not really creating content, meaning if you're needing things done, we really don't have the personnel to actually create new videos at this time. So it'll be more tough. But if you had somebody that that knew how to do any type of video type service, that information, that content that you create, will definitely just upload it on the channel. It'll be very quick. We also talked about when I was talking about the bringing back media to the county. Not only are we working with television, but in December of 2023, the Siskiyou County Arts Council and Siskiyou Media Council worked with an organization to bring or to apply for 12 low power FM radio licenses. The FCC opened up the window for the first time in 10 years. And so we applied for 12 licenses across the county from east to west. And we have 11 of them approved now. We have one pending. And that means that those 12 communities, when we get the funding to put in the equipment, will be able to provide a radio broadcast to be able to do local information, of course, but they can also send out local emergency information as well. So we're going to try to blend that into giving the Sheriff's Department and OES the ability to transmit us information through local FM radio. It's just the same. It's the radio that you would have in your car from 88.1 to 107. It's not the VHS or UHF. Yeah, VHF. It's not the very high frequency like the NOAA radios that I think OES has talked about, which is a different signal. So it's just means it's local content, locally controlled, and we don't have to worry about somebody cutting us off or that kind of thing. I think that's about really. I'm just trying to keep it short so we are not locked into this any much longer. But if you have any questions right now, I'll take any that you have. Okay.
So I know you met with a couple of our folks last couple weeks, but what did you come to how we can work with you and how you can work with us?
That was the thing that we were discussing is we're a platform that gives you the opportunity to get your message out. So items that were discussed were on the information or the digital channel, the digital signage. That would probably be the best bet for the Fire Safe Council is like for prescribed burns, or if you wanted to provide short videos of 3 minutes or less, if you had that kind of information, that would do things like for site preparation, or if you had information about the safe space around your people's building properties and things like that. Just information that you think that would benefit the people of Siskiyou County that seems to maybe get buried in the social media stream that you have. This is more persistent, meaning we put that on and it rotates around. It's just a carousel of information. And those are the kind of things, like I said, where it's more locally controlled. You don't get that throttling of information, and you don't once somebody sees it once and it goes down the list, it's hard to keep that back on top. So that was the kind of thing that we thought that if you wanted that opportunity to put that information out to people, to let them know that you can go here and you can see things about when we're going to do prescribed burns, or what to do when you see, if they're seeing smoke, maybe they can go here. We're just trying to get this media platform back up and running and make it meaning something for the people of Siskiyou County.
Great. Thank you, Dave. And could you put your contact information in the chat?
Sure.
Just in case anybody has follow-up questions for you or interest.
Sure.
Great. And we're happy to be working with you, Dave. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just checking the screen to make sure I don't miss any questions or anybody. So, all right. So next onto the agenda, we have Clint up to give us an update on the Klamath River Basin Wildfire Crisis Strategy Landscape Program. It's really a long title, Clint.
It's a lot. I don't like it. I didn't come up with it though. So all right. Yeah, so for those who don't know me, I've been on the Klamath National Forest for a long time, and our agency has come up with 21 landscapes where we've received an influx of funds over the past few years to try to get in front of implementing projects that kind of get in front of what we're calling the wildfire crisis strategy. And as many of you know, even with the smoke outside today, this is a very good area to be investing in for all the right reasons in and around that issue. So the entire Klamath River Basin, so the 5 forests, national forests within that, the Fremont, Wainema, and Region 6, portion of the Modoc and the Shasta Trinity and the 6 rivers in California, and then the entirety of the Klamath National Forest on the California side make up the Klamath River Basin landscape. So I just want to briefly go over one of the things that I thought might be of interest of this group that we've been up to. We're up to a bunch of things, but we're trying to implement a bunch of projects. But the main thing I wanted to share with you guys today, and in talking with Jennifer Erickson, was a project that we've been working on, and maybe something that I could come back and give you guys a demo on here in a couple months. But we've essentially done fire modeling for the entire 8.5 million acre, 10 million acre roughly Klamath River Basin that does a bunch of simulations that gives us outputs that shows the areas that are the most likely to burn. We call it burn probabilities. It's so we can demonstrate the areas that have the highest likelihood of burning into the future under current conditions. And those areas that want to burn at high fire severity, high flame lengths, those types of things that we care about in the fire world. So we are now in the process of developing layers of what we call our highly valuable resources and assets. So these are like our structures, our infrastructure, our key watersheds for drinking water. They can include private timberlands. They can include habitat and biodiversity for species such as spotted owl, for just connectivity, just having timberlands remain on our landscape. So those types of things, we are creating a bunch of those layers that we can overlay with these fire modeling that we have occurred. And we're working with a contractor that has a means to rank those values that we have in relative order and come out with project areas that meet that criteria the best. So we might rank our communities the highest. That's typically what happens when we do these exercises and working with some partners and others. And then the others have various rankings as we go down, and it helps us find where our next project should be, what partners we should be working with, and developing what we call a 5 or a 10-year program of work. So it's our next projects that we need to implement for those reasons, mainly in and around high fire severity and high burn probabilities. So we have been we've been working over the past few months coming up with those layers. They got a lot into it, but a lot more into it than what I'm describing right now. But I think I've explained it to you guys in a nutshell. So we're going to have the ability to show you guys some demonstration runs and stuff like that. If there's an interest here in the near future, to show you where some of our hot spots might be in the county, where some of our biggest risk is to our communities and to those other assets that we've mapped, and figure out ideas on what we want to do about that in terms of treatments and future planning. So I'm just going to leave it at that for now, unless there's questions, Jamie. And we would gladly show you guys a demo of how all this is going to work here at a future date, and maybe when fire season slows down for us.
Thanks, Clint. Yeah, we're absolutely would be interested in the demo you have. I'd love to see that. It'd be great. So yeah, when fire season slows down, it sounds like when it does, Yeah, it sounds like a great idea. Do it. Yeah, Mike, go ahead.
Well, I'm just going to chime in for a second. It's so valuable, Clint, to have people like you who have stuck around, who are so knowledgeable about the area, who are super invested. There's been a lot of turnover. I can't tell you how much that local knowledge and dedication means and how practicable that is and how much that's going to help. So this is just like a little happy shout out, Clint. Thank you so much for your work, and it's going to make a big difference. So keep chugging along, man. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
All right, thank you, Clint. And do I have any other questions for Clint at this time? Well, this is a good segue then from what Clint was talking about into the next subject, which is the Community Wildfire Defense Grant, the CWDG that you've been hearing about for almost a year. And I'm happy to give some of the update, and that is where it's going, it's working. We are doing projects on it right now. And I can also announce that thanks to help from the outside, we were able to develop a matrix, which Julie Titus brought to us with the idea of helping to put together is like, where do we start? Where we got this great grant, and which community needs the work the most? Where should we go? And we definitely, from the very beginning, did not want to do just a total shotgun approach, hit and miss. We wanted to be efficient and effective. And we wanted to be able to consolidate where the work, we did both the work and home assessments. I guess I should back up. The Community Wildfire Defense Grant, for those of you who don't know, was a $10 million grant that we received over a 5-year period to do home assessments within Siskiyou County, and also do fuel reduction work in areas that were needed, and including ingress and egress for homes and communities. And as you all know, we have a very large geographical county. And so $10 million sounds like a lot, but it can be eaten up really fast. So we wanted to be as consolidate the work as much as possible. So how did we go about doing that? Well, Julie came to us with this idea of why not use this matrix that she developed. And so we went back to our community wildfire protection plan and looked at that, and it originally has 9 regions within it. And we divided up, we used those 9 regions, and then we put everything that we could possibly think of into that. We put in income levels, we put in past fires in the last 5 years, we put in other grants that are doing fuels reduction projects. We put in a myriad of stuff, some stuff that we felt that it didn't help, we kind of threw out, and worked on that until we came up with priorities based off of the rating system in this matrix. And then the priorities was the top 3 regions, and then within those, okay, there's still large areas, and so within those regions we then went further and defined it on how we could pick where should we start. So we have a priority community in our priority regions within our CWPP, and I want to make it very clear that that doesn't mean that other communities within those regions or the other regions won't get work done. It's just that we have to start somewhere. And this gives us a list of where to start from. And so the regions, the first priority that is on through this process was Petersburg, Cecilville, excuse me, Cecilville on the Salmon River. And then Hamburg on the Klamath River, and then Callahan in the southern end of Scott Valley. And those are our top 3 priorities for this season. And that's where we're putting a lot of effort in both education and outreach. And then we'll start doing the home assessments when we get enough group to make it effective. Also to let you know, in the meantime, we're still doing other home assessments where the great outreach work that Josh and Diane and Kristen, and Diane's not with us tonight, but have been working on for months on, and every event that Siskiyou County holds, they've been there and are going to these events to let people know what this program is about, to get people to sign up. And once they sign up, well, we've been working on this prioritization process, then they've been going out and doing home assessments. So that's kind of our update in really quickly. And in fact, I know Josh was out today doing home assessments in Happy Camp, and he's done them in Scott Valley and the Wairika and the Weed area. And we'll be continuing to do them. But as I said, we're going to put our main effort into those 3 top communities. And then as we go through those, then we'll go to the next ones and the next ones. Also, like I said, there's other grants and projects going on in the county. So just because Dunsmuir isn't on our top list doesn't mean they're not a priority, but they have another grant for the RCD and Firewise community. So there's work being done there right now. So we're trying our best not to overlap and to get to communities that don't have something specific at this point. So Giselle or Josh or Matt would like to, or Kristen would like to add to my update, you're more than welcome.
I would just like to say you pretty well covered it, and I'm very proud of everybody that's been working on this, man. They're rolling out fast and furious. Really proud of y'all, and I don't think it'll be too long before we're on the ground. Julie has a question.
Just hold on. Oh, shoot. Sorry about that. No, I just want to add one thing, because you listed a lot of great attributes, but one of the basis science attribute, obviously, and it ties in with the kind of thing Clint was talking about, is fire severity too.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, we took in, I don't have my full list of everything we looked at, but that reminds me, Julie, that's why I said it's a good segue from Clint, is that we also used where their projects are working on. And so when you have 2 projects working side by side and to each other, you have a bigger outcome than when you're doing it singly and alone. So I hounded Clint to get me information and maps and stuff, and it was great with that.
Perfect.
And so that's where the segue came in.
Yeah, great.
Thank you, Julie, for all your help on that matrix, and great update there, Jamie. Yeah, we've done 18 home assessments and we've been at 14 events. It is really important to remember that it is up to the resident to initiate this process of home assessments to be eligible for defensible space. My contact information is in the chat, along with our site on where to sign up and more information. It's all located on the Fire Safe Council's website. And then just a quick plug, we are hiring 2 fellows to help with this project. They're AmeriCorps fellows. The job posting link is also in the chat there. So if you know anybody who's interested, all the requirements and information will be in that link. And then I also threw some Firewise USA information. There's been several residents that have reached out about becoming Firewise designated. So that would be a good start if you know people who are interested, and reach out to me, and I could help guide you through the process.
And also, when we're doing these home assessments, we're using a program called Fire Aside, and it's a software program that is very involved. People have asked things like, well, I had you know, CAL FIRE come out, or I had my insurance company come out and look at my place and stuff. And this, I have to say, Fireside is much more involved. It's also more user friendly, and on the home assessments, we can walk out with the homeowners and walk through it, and it's done using photos and on iPads, and then the resident gets the report, and then it goes to the resident. It doesn't go to any other agencies. It doesn't go to the county. It doesn't go to the Forest Service. It doesn't go to insurance companies. It goes to the resident, and the Fire Safe Council of Siskiyou County is the only entity that has the background, the copy of it. It also does not go to the Fireside's program either. As far as the owners of Fireside, only the Fire Safe Council of Siskiyou County owns it. And then the report can be seen immediately by the homeowner, and then they can go and have a list and look at what they need to do and work on, and can do a compare. And then we can also come back after work is done and do another assessment. So it can be used if you want to try to use it with your insurance company and that kind of stuff as well.
Yvonne has her hand raised.
Yes, I had a question. That's such good information, Jamie, that where the data does and does not go. And I was wondering if there was a flyer that puts all that information that I can hand to my neighbors, or because that's something that people desire, that kind of information before they commit.
Yeah, we just met with Salmon River community, and that was the biggest subject to talk about. And well, we didn't meet with the community. We met with the Salmon River Restoration Council, and that was one of the big questions. And that's what I was trying to share with Josh and Diane and the rest, that's a huge issue in this county. And that it's very important that people feel comfortable that we will not be sharing that with anybody except the resident themselves. And as far as a flyer goes, we put some flyers out, and I'll let those guys talk about the flyers.
Yeah, Yvonne, our flyers at this moment don't put that description in there of how the report is private and just held between the owner and the council. But we will definitely add it. So thank you for that tip.
Yep. All right.
I thought we should clarify in terms of the home assessments that anyone anywhere in the county can go to the website, excuse me, and sign up for home assessment. They don't need to be in the priority communities that we're starting work in, and it might be a while before we get around to doing all the home assessments, but anyone can sign up for the home assessments anytime. Just wanted to clarify that.
Good point, Kristen. Thank you. All right, so if I don't have any other questions then for the CWDG update, we will move on. So I see Jen is here from the Klamath. Would you like to give us an update?
Sure. I have got a list of things I was going to tell you. I thought I'd let you guys know the Shelley fire is 100% contained. I hate to say this because it feels like I'm jinxing things, but our initial attack has been light, quite light, with new starts. Our staffing right now, we've got a mix of Klamath National Forest and cover engines, totaling 14 across the forest. We've got a cover dozer and about a dozen fire prevention patrols. There's a Type 3 and a Type 1 helicopter, that's the smallest and the largest, that are committed to the Boise fire, but they're available for initial attack here. And so the Boise fire, for folks who don't know, it has burned onto the Klamath National Forest from the Six Rivers National Forest. It's about 8,600 acres as of 12:30 today, but it sounded like they had a good day today. They had higher humidity and the fire behavior decreased quite a bit, so they were able to get some work in. As far as the east side of the fire, the crews are out looking at some old containment lines from previous fires, and the dozers and hand crews are working on reopening those lines as they're identified. So they said that there's going to be a public meeting in the coming days, and the Klamath is working on a joint area closure with the Six Rivers. So that should be out in a couple days. As far as work being done on the forest, Happy Camp Oak Knoll is planning right now, in planning to work with the CDA to help burn piles on the West Side project this winter. So that'll be good. That'll increase their boots on the ground to knock out those piles. Over on the Salmon Scott, they're still prepping to start implementing the fuel breaks in the Lovers Canyon area, which is about near Lovers Camp down towards Bucher Ridge. And then they're also working on fuel breaks for the Bear Country project, and that will be starting along Picayune Ridge near the private inn holdings at Godfrey Ranch and along the South Fork of the Salmon River between Cecilville and Forks of Salmon. Over on the Goose Nest, CDA is continuing with juniper reduction near Horse Thief Butte. And in September or October, the Pitt River Tribe is going to be starting up some juniper reduction as well as willow restoration along Butte Creek in between Shafter Campground and the town of Bray. And that is my update. Any questions?
No,
I do want to thank you, Jennifer. We've had some online signups and I've chatted with those residents, just curious how they accessed the page. And they've met with some patrol units, given out some information since it is a Forest Service grant. So I just want to thank you for your efforts. We appreciate it.
Wonderful. That's great. Thanks, Josh.
This is Joseph. I had one question for the Forest Service update. Do we know when the last time on this Boise fire that we had past fires in the scar that it's burning in, or is it all new burn, or has there been past fires in that area?
I'm going to take a swing at it, and if Clint, you're still here, you can chime in. Where the Boise fire is burning, it's kind of sandwiched between the Perch fire from last year and the Red Salmon fire down to the south from 2020. But kind of in between there, I don't believe that it has any recent fire history. And I think the distance between those two burn footprints on the east side is about 3 miles. So there is a little section in there, but they've got a lot of contingency lines to work with, as well as the direct lines that they had.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they going to the east, Joseph. There isn't a huge burn scar that can burn into at this point.
Yeah, perfect. I was keeping up on media on Facebook, and they're saying that they can see this fire all the way down to Crescent City lately, the last few days. So I was curious if it was burning to any old burn scars or if it's all new and fresh.
I believe it's new and fresh.
Perfect. Thank you.
The north end looks like it burned into the Perch, but the east end is new and fresh. Yeah.
I would love if Clint had a moment to chime in, because as we know, it's all puzzle pieces out there. And the current Boise fire, I guess, a pretty significant behavior yesterday. And I saw photos where from Humboldt Bay, you could see a huge, semi-pyrocumulus cloud develop, et cetera. But it is sandwiched to the east, south, and a bit north by previous fire footprints. But do you want to chime in on that, Clint, if you've got any direction or special insight?
Hey, Mike, I'm looking actually at the participants, and I know that Clint had to get off to do some stuff. I didn't realize he had already left, but it doesn't look like he's on. I can see if I can drum up a map to put in the chat to kind of illustrate that. But yes, yesterday was a very big day. I think it grew by about 7,000 acres on the Boise fire in the headwaters.
Yeah, there's in our forests, as we all know, areas that have not had fire since we really suppressed cultural fire use, and then we really began suppressing fire. It might be 100+ year interval of regularity, and that's a neighborhood I don't actually know well. I live out of Happy Camp, so that Boise Creek drainage up into that component of the Trinity Alps and up to the Salmon Crest. But from what I've heard, I've talked to some folks, lots of fuels. We're seeing that behavior, but there is some great fire footprints that edge it, that hopefully will help moderate expansion over time. And yeah, we'll see. But I'm happy at least our weather conditions, although it's windy here in Happy Camp this afternoon. Hopefully this cooling trend will assist. And this fire will do some good work, but it's based on what I saw in photos. When you see those pyrocumulus type cloud formations, you know that it's burning pretty hot out there. And when you have a multi-thousand acre run in an afternoon, you're not going to see great effects on the ground. Yeah, so, but I think what I heard from the incident command folks on their video is the Orleans side is pretty held. So that community, I think, is in good hands by the staff and based on fire behavior. Hopefully we'll keep it out of Orleans area.
And for those of you who I think most people nowadays use watch duty, but if you don't know, there's layers on there, and you can add in past fires on as a layer, so you can see exactly where the fire's burning into and the old fires. The perimeters of the old fires are on there, and it even tells you the name of the fire and the year. So check out Watch Duty. It's great for that. All right. We'll move on. Oh, the Shasta Trinity. Where did you go?
I'm here.
Oh, there you are. Sorry, Joe. I was looking. Okay, there.
Awesome. So I'll give a quick update on the Shasta McCloud Management Unit on the Shasta Trinity. So we've been working a bit with the Klamath River Basin Landscape Team that Clint spoke about earlier. So that was nice to hear that update from Clint. We've also been implementing a variety of fuels reduction activities in the past year or so. If you all haven't been out to McCloud from Mount Shasta recently and driven along Highway 89, I highly recommend it. You'll see a huge difference out there, and we're continuing to work in that area and other areas on the unit, such as in Castle Lake. So we have begun work in our South Fork Sacramento project up near Castle Lake, primarily through hand crews. We have AmeriCorps crews, 16 individuals working on the forest through the AmeriCorps program over the next couple of months, and we have them primarily working in the Castle Lake area. And along with mastication, we have mastication activities occurring up there, and we have a timber sale that will begin work soon. So lots of work happening up there in the South Fork, beginning to happen up there in the South Fork Sacramento project area. Next year, we plan on authorizing treatments on up to 30,000 acres within the county, and we plan on treating over 8,000 acres on the ground. Those numbers could change depending on planning efforts and funding availability, but that's what we're projecting at the moment. And then another thing I wanted to mention too is the Shasta McCloud Management Unit is going to be hosting a partner event later this year, and we're going to invite the Fire Safe Council to attend. In that event, we will be presenting our program of work for planning and implementation, so we can obtain some initial feedback. We'll be talking about our planned work for the next year and the additional years after that. And then regarding operations for fire season, so far it's been very quiet on the forest as a whole. And I hate to say that too, right? Knock on wood. Although our crews have been helping out with other fires in the region and other agencies, even across the nation. So we're very proud of that. And even though we are helping others, we still maintain a very high staffing levels in the area, and we will continue to do so. So I think that's about all I have I have to report out on them unless there are any questions. I'm open to those.
Well, I know you've been here for a while now, but welcome and
Thank you.
and congratulations on your new job. So I know it's not new now. It must not feel new anymore, but still, we're glad to have you with
It
us.
does. It
Oh,
does. It feels like it's been 2 weeks crammed into, or 4 months of work crammed into 2 weeks.
yeah, I understand. All right. Well, thank you very much, Joe.
Thank you.
CAL FIRE is, I don't believe anybody's here tonight from CAL FIRE. And that happens when we've got fires everywhere. Caltrans, I'm just going to go through the list quickly and stop me if I'm missing anybody, but Shasta Valley RCD. I don't think Christian's on from University of California. The Siskiyou Prescribed Burn Association. Don't have them on. Scott River Watershed Council, Mount Shasta Bioregional, Sierra Nevada Conservancy, Siskiyou County OES. I'm sure they're quite busy. And Nancy's not with us. And Red Cross, they're all busy. Funny how that works. Pacific Power update. And then NRCS, Wairika, Siskiyou County Air Quality, the Sheriff, CHP, and I'll just go into the, do we have anything on Stevens grant at all, Giselle?
We're working on a Stevens grant out in Bray, but for new proposals, we don't have any right now. And actually, we're working on Old Stage and Bray. Both are Stevens grants, and we're working on those. But we have no opportunity to apply for anything else unless Jen knows of anything.
Okay.
Or Joe, if you know if it's going to open up soon.
All right, we'll go into the Fire Safe Council updates, Black Mountain.
Yeah, hi everybody. I'll update on I don't have too much for Black Mountain, but I can update you on the new job I have. I've been working with Coleman Utility group out of Fort Bragg and the Plumas and over by Lake Tahoe. We are doing contracting work right now with over 300 to 350 personnel on clearing power lines and power poles. I've been doing this now for the past 25 days. We're going around and clearing power lines and power poles for fire safe in those counties and those communities. It's a huge contract, PG&E contract for Coleman Utilities. So other than that, I haven't been doing too much here locally. I'm just keeping an eye on all the fires we have close nearby. We are in a unhealthy environment in Wairika and Hornbrook area. So we've been keeping a close eye on our smoke models as well for the community and all the homeowners in the community. And that's about all I have.
Thanks, Joseph. All right, Butte Valley, Copco Lake.
Hold on.
All right, sorry.
Butte Valley has a project out in Bray, and we're working with Vestra, and we're trying to get more landowners signed up, and then we're going to be putting that out to bid for mastication along the roadsides out there for about 100 acres is what we're hoping. So anyway, that's what we're doing in Bray, and we're having the Butte Valley Tule Lake Fair will be coming up soon. I think it's going to start the 5th, 6th, and 7th, and we will be out there.
Okay, thanks. Copco Lake. Do you have anything? Dunsmuir?
Kristen?
Yeah, Kristen can probably speak to that.
Yeah, we have an event coming up September 7th in Dunsmuir at the community center. And everyone, especially if you're interested in Firewise communities, if you want to get inspired and talk to Stephen Decatur, who got this, the celebration is for the designation of Dunsmuir as the first Firewise community in Siskiyou County, but it also happens to be the 900th Firewise community designated in the state. So CAL FIRE throws a little party for every 100th Firewise community. So we looked out, and they're coming to Dunsmuir. That's September 7th from 11 to 1. There'll be some free lunch and drinks to, and it's open to anyone who'd like to come. And like I said, if folks are wanting to get their Firewise communities going in their neighborhoods, it's a good chance to come and talk about how the strategies and how to get that going. So spread the word and come on down to Dunsmuir.
Thanks, Kristen. Greater Weed.
Nothing right now.
Hammond Ranch.
Kristen has been going to some homeowners association meetings. Kristen, do you have anything to say about that?
Well, actually, you were the one that had to go to the in-person one because that's when my husband was in the hospital. But I've just been kind of coordinating with them. They're definitely rallying the troops out there to get Firewise community established. So we're just supporting them as needed. So yeah, I don't know. I don't believe they've started the application process yet. They're just still trying to get everyone in the know right now.
Okay. Happy Camp.
All right, I think I'm unmuted. So again, Mike Hentz out of Happy Camp. Thanks, everyone. I'm happy I've got internet. I can do this at home. I used to have to stay in town till 7:30 at night. This is such a privilege to be at home to do this. So yesterday, Luna Latimer, who's our director at the Mid-Klamath Watershed Council, and I went to the Board of Supervisors meeting in Wairika, 9 a.m. Through a lot of road stops, we made it in time, and we presented on our Happy Camp Community Wildfire Protection Plan, and it was accepted by the Board of Supervisors. There's other signatories, the Klamath National Forest, the CAL FIRE, the Creek Tribe. They'll be kind of next, but the Board of Supervisors were first. So that was a big accomplishment to get this. And there was also the 10-year update for the Orleans-Somes Bar Fire Safety Council that was also presented. So that was great. A little anecdote, on my way back, I stopped at the Portuguese River access, and there was an unattended log on fire when I was about to start lunch. So there's a bridge project, and I got some help, and we got some shovels, and we put it out with some dirt and stuff. But that was an interesting bonus to when you're presenting for community wildfire protection and you find a unattended campfire during the heat of the day, and to be able to put that out, that was a big plus for yesterday's effort. I want to shout out to Kristen and Jenna Erickson and others. We had a Firewise youth event, I think 3 weeks ago or so in Happy Camp. That was the 3rd annual. It's always great to engage kids just over the theory of fire, how to be safe, the cultural uses of fire. So that's always a good thing. And currently, for the last decade, a little more, we have our Klamath River Prescribed Fire Training Exchange and lots of partners, but we're planning that effort basically from Orleans to Happy Camp, a little upriver. That's September 22nd to October 4th. This is a big deal. We've been doing it, and we actively utilize prescribed fire on private lands, although we may be engaging a cross-boundary burn for the first time on the Klamath National Forest up Elk Creek, which would be fantastic. But that planning effort is super ongoing. So that was one thing, and I guess I'll just close it there, but thanks everyone, and I appreciate the fact that none of us are in this alone. Thank you.
Congratulations on getting that CWPP approved, and a thumbs up from everybody. Great job.
Thanks.
Horse Creek, Juniper Flat. Okay, Klamath River. Glenn was on. Do you know who else?
Oh, Klamath
Oh, there
River.
you are, Yvonne. Sorry. I lose people on my screen because
That's
there's so
yeah,
many.
I understand. No problem. I'm not shy in speaking up, as you know. Okay, so I have a couple of things. One is there was a question. Let me just get my notes up here. There was a question last time about here we go. Here it is. About the McKinney Post Fire project through the Shasta Valley Resource Conservation District. So I contacted them and Michael McGill answered me and he said that the post-fire projects are all still on track, that the staff have been directing efforts to some of their other work for the time being fire season right now, but they do hope to re-engage with the project with more dedicated staffing this fall. As you may or may not know, the project, I don't know if he's a manager, but the gentleman, Joshua, who was in charge of that project, took a different job, so he's no longer heading up that project. He says, but Michael McGill also said, we are still in the process of getting landowner agreements in place and doing site visits. And and I passed this along to some of the landowners who are in the McKinney fire, wanting their property to be included in this post-fire grant project. So they were happy to hear about that. Okay, so the other thing I have to report on is our partnership with the Free the Needs Back to School giveaway, where they give away the backpacks and school supplies to kids in Siskiyou County. And the Fire State Council of Siskiyou County, Kristen and Joshua from CORE were instrumental in getting materials that were children specific this year, which is terrific. And we gave away, there were 3 things that we gave away to the nonprofit to give into the backpacks. One was a 5 Easy Steps Children's Activity Guide. And that was given to, and it's like a little coloring, like a 1-page coloring book type of thing. And it was really great to put in the preschool, kindergarten, and elementary school backpacks. Those kids all got crayons plus this. We also gave them the Ready Raccoon Children's Are You Ready checklist. And then the older kids got the Ready Raccoon Children's Are You Ready checklist, as well as a Listos Disaster Ready guide. So that was terrific partnership. Very grateful for that resource. And that is my report.
I gotta give props to you and your incredible work, Yvonne, because there was a couple kids at the Golden Fair this past weekend in Wairika that came with their families to our booth and pointed to the Listos guide and the Ready, and they're like, "Hey, we just got that in our backpack."
Excellent. Good to hear. Yeah, it's great.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, moving on, Lake Shastina.
Well, we're working on our vegetation treatment plan, VTP. We just finished the PSA and escalated that over to Shasta Valley RCD, who's the lead agency, and they're looking that over, and I hope they approve it soon. And if they do, we're also looking to sign up landowners in certain areas of that project, and we're looking forward to getting on the ground and doing vegetation management for ingress and egress. And hopefully within next year, we'll be rolling on that, almost done, I'm hoping. Anyway, that's all for Lake Shastina.
Lower Scott River, McLeod, and Mount Shasta.
We have the old stage project and we're looking to get back on the ground. We've completed over half of it. And we've re-engaged with our contractor and asked him to come back, please, as soon as fire season will allow. And we hope to finish that one off by the end of the year.
Okay. Orleans, Soames Bar, Quartz Valley, and Salmon River.
Well,
Science.
I'll double back. I'll double
Oh, go
back
ahead.
to our folks. Again, part of the Board of Supervisors meeting was for the update for the Orleans Snow Spar CWPP, but I think they're all busy with the Boise fire right now. But there's a lot of local stuff going on. I'm bringing down more weed whackers and other like hand tools to kind of refurbish some of the stuff from the crew tomorrow. I'll be down there, but there's a lot going on down in Mickwick, in Orleans, but the Boise fire I think is front and center. So pay attention to that.
Okay. Wairika. And
Did you save the best for last?
of course, George.
Oh, just kidding. Just kidding. I'm staying awake. Hey, just wanted to give an update on the Outson Road project. Wairika Area Fire Safe Council project. We are still working to complete the CEQA and get through that stage, and we've turned from the larger landscape landowners to recruiting landowners for defensible space. We're going to do 25 homes of defensible space. I was supposed to turn on to take a chance. Anyway, so we're working toward that. We are recruiting more landowners within the Outson Road project, which is west of Walmart and south of the College of the Siskiyous in Wairika. So that's ongoing. We have the Miller Mountain project, which is on 97, just before you get to Grass Lake, heading north on 97. Starts on 97 and goes over to Ball Mountain Road. The NEPA CE was signed by the ranger at the Goosenest Ranger District, and we're getting close to starting the underground fuels project based on, it's always based on the fire danger and everything like that, but we're pretty close to that project to begin as 300 acres of treatment. And the third thing is our YCC crew was at the fair, and we get to see Jennifer and all the great booth there and all the folks helping out with the prevention at the fair. And they were working, our YCC crew from the Goosenest Ranger District with National Forest were working the noxious weed booth and got to meet the new forest supervisor and got a little photo op with him. So that was pretty cool for them. They were pretty excited. That project with the youth from Butte Valley High School gives them a lot of different job screening, or not screening, but job experience with all the different types of departments at the Ranger District. They also do community service projects. So it's been a great second year that we've been working with the Goosenest Ranger District over there, and really excited that 2 years in a row we've got to meet the forest supervisor. Unfortunately, they weren't the same person. I mean, with turnover. So that's the only downside, but it was pretty cool to get to meet them and welcome them to Siskiyou County. And that's it from Wairika Area Fire Safe Council.
Thank you, George. Lots of good stuff happening. Is there anybody else that I went over or missed, or any questions or comments? All right. In that case, do we have any action items for next month, Giselle?
Kristen, did you capture any?
I don't believe we did have any.
There really weren't too many action items this time around.
All right, and then the next meeting is set for September 11th. And I will be handing that over to Giselle and others because I will not be here. So good to see everybody tonight. And this is Joseph. I think Jen put in the chat screenshot of the Boise fire with 20 years of fire history. And if you can see this, Joseph, you can see the fire history, and that's all on Watch Duty. I don't know if you
Oh,
can
nice.
see.
Thank you. Yeah, I can see that totally.
Yeah. So you can see the red salmon fire and then the perch fire north and the red salmon south and the fresh and clear in between. But that's just go into layers on Watch Duty and you can add that. So.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I'm just gonna let you guys go. Speaking of fires, we have an active cell going North County right now over top of us. So I'm gonna let you guys go and keep an eye on you. We're starting to get down strikes overhead. So just letting you guys know we'll be safe, and I hope you guys all have a great day, and I'll try to get back to you guys after the storm passes.
All right.
Yeah, we have
We're done.
hail on the ground here in the Hammond Ranch Weed area.
I
Yeah,
just
Yeah,
saw,
it's supposed to, we have the next 3 days possible of lightning here in the county for the next 3 days. So hopefully it don't start any new starts, hopefully.
I just saw a video of Meredith Sewell. She's up north somewhere, and she has massive amounts of rain and hail coming down.
wow.
All right. Well, good. Stay safe, everybody, and no
Yeah.
new fires.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Good night.
Thanks,
everybody.
Jamie. Thanks, you guys.
Go,
Bye.
Greg, go ahead and stay on and we'll work through the recording thing.